Joining us now, Councilman from Virginia Beach, Brad Martin. Councilman, great to have you with us.
Hey, good morning, John. How are you doing?
Doing fine. Okay, let's get to the Will Sessoms situation. Let me start with this. Chairman and CEO of Town Bank, G. Robert Aston Jr., all high and mighty the other day, saying, well, you know, because of the integrity of Town Bank and the billions of dollars I've spent on our branding, we're going to take Will Sessoms and put him on administrative leave while this whole thing in Virginia Beach is figured out. Meantime, we did a little look-see. We find out that half the government in Tidewater is on this guy's employee payroll or on the board of directors. Okay? So now, Mayor Paul Frame of Norfolk and Mayor Linda Johnson of Suffolk, they're paid board of director members on Town Bank. All of a sudden now they resign. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I think there's a big difference between being a paid employee or something like that versus being on a board. I think whether it's Town Bank or whether it's a charity like EquiKids or whether it's a Rotary Club, they want to have these influence makers, these high achievers, these elected representatives and other folks in the community. They want that clout on their board. So I think it's totally reasonable and acceptable that these elected officials and other you've got folks that are high up in companies serving on other companies' boards and other charities' boards. So I think it's perfectly reasonable that those things are happening. That's what these boards do. When they go out and do their fundraising and do their charity balls and banquets and stuff, they want people with clout to be able to make the phone calls and call their friends and sell their tickets, and it's a part of the process.
Okay, I'll buy that. Let's get to the Mayor Sessoms situation. You were on council with him when a lot of these votes took place. I just got to ask you straight out, Brad, as a city council member, did you ever raise an eyebrow? Did you ever think, well, maybe Town Bank's got a loan or Sessoms is involved in a particular thing? Did that ever come up in your mind during your tenure on city council?
Not really, and I've only been on for a year, and it's. I think it's a lot different for the mayor and Town Bank than it is for perhaps me and my engineering business. For my business and my clients, it's very easy to draw a very specific relationship and to know cut and dry when I have a conflict and when I don't have a conflict. With the mayor being a president of Town Bank, with all the financial services and all the insurance and all the business that they do, with all the different opportunities that they provide to their clients, I think that's a much more difficult situation than you would typically have with just a business owner trying to protect himself from conflicts of interest with his own clients.
All right, well, nobody ever said the world was easy or being a president of Town Bank and making $800,000 is an easy job either. But in our view, the guy should have known what he was dealing with. Now, here's my question. What about behind the scenes? Was the mayor, for some of the pilot in their expose, they outlined about 60 high-profile votes that seemed pretty clear in their story. So my question is, you had to deal with the mayor on city council. Was there ever him trying to influence council members about how to vote on a specific thing? Did he ever have a meeting, pick up the phone, say, look, I need your backing on a particular piece of legislation that came up in front of the council that also involved this bank?
No, I don't believe I ever got a phone call like that from the mayor. I'm not aware of any situation that he did that. By the time a lot of those issues got to us on the council, they had usually come through. If you talk about the specific land development deals, they had come through the planning staff at the city, and we've got great staff at the city. They come through the Planning Commission, usually with a mostly a unanimous or almost unanimous vote. And by the time they get to us, I'm not going to say it's just a formality, but unless there's objection, unless there's specific issues that come up, there's not a ton of discussion. If something comes through and it's already been vetted by those staff levels and by the Planning Commission or another board or commission that sends it up to us, there's just not the reason for another full discussion and dialogue over a project that's already gotten reviewed and approved at several different checkpoints.
So doesn't the mayor, though, control the agenda? Doesn't he control what comes up?
I think the mayor and the vice mayor and the city manager control the agenda, yeah.
All right, so basically then, Brad, my question is, in your mind, do you feel that, Sessoms just went about his business? Yes, some of the loans were his customers, some not, some impact him, some not. Are you saying that he had a laissez-faire attitude, didn't really look into it, didn't bother to know? Or are you saying that he is completely innocent, that he didn't do anything?
I don't think those are the only two choices in this situation. I think there's some middle ground. I was surprised at the specificity and the details that came out in the pilot's article this weekend. Seems to me that there are some opportunities where the mayor could have done some more due diligence, and I think those need to be thoroughly vetted out. I think we need to figure out the citizens and the voting public and the people of Virginia Beach deserve to have this. Once these accusations are made, you can't leave them hanging out there. You have to get to the bottom of them, and I hope we're able to do that fairly quickly.
So, Brad, let me just ask you this straight out. There's a lot of people that look at this from afar. We don't have the influence. We don't have an $800,000 job. We don't have titles of president and mayor. But you look at this thing, you look at a lot of these things that went down that was outlined in the pilot, it really stinks of crony capitalism, good old boys club, wink and a handshake. Meantime, taxpayers getting screwed. I mean, don't you think there's an issue right now of just the basic integrity of the governmental process in Virginia Beach that have people so outraged?
I think when you're holding elected office, you have to go above and beyond to confirm that the public's trust is well placed. I think, John, that a lot of this stuff is a consequence of what's going on at the federal level, what we've just seen in Virginia with the Bob McDonnell trial. There is such a lack of transparency. You're just seeing it now with the Gruber stuff that's come out over the health care law.
That's right.
And what the president's doing with immigration. You see such a lack of transparency and lack of accountability on these federal and then, of course, we had it hit close to home with the Bob McDonnell trial. I think there is an oversensitivity to this, and I think a lot of it is a justified oversensitivity to this. But I hope this is not just something where it's happening at the federal level, it's happening at the state level, so we have to assume that it's happening at the Virginia Beach city level.
Well, I don't think you have to assume anything. When you look at the fact there's at least 60 times Mayor Sessoms was involved in backing legislation that directly benefited his employer, his customers of his employer, and himself.
Yeah, and like I say, that is a much more detailed and specifics-oriented relationship than, again, I have in my business with my clients. There's a direct A to B link with me and my clients. I'm not a banker. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what the trustee on some of these loan documents is supposed to do. I don't know if Will's position at Town Bank influences all the other departments they have, the mortgage banking business and the insurance business and all that. I mean, I know he's president of the financial services division. I'm not even positive what that means. But, I mean, he's a high-ranking paid employee of a big local bank here, and it's obvious that bank is going to have other business relationships in the community, and those folks are going to be coming to city council on occasions to have projects approved.
Under this specter, this black cloud, how does Sessoms continue to govern effectively?
Oh, I mean, you look at his track record over the last 6 years. He's governed effectively, tremendously effectively. I'm so proud of how the city is moving forward, and I really hope that getting to the bottom of these allegations, and figuring out this investigation, I see this as something that can be separated from what's going on in council chambers.
Do you think he should resign?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because, I mean, we live in a country where we're innocent until proven guilty, first of all. I think there are a lot of resolutions to this. It could be simple oversights. It could be anything among the spectrum of just the simplest oversights to the most nefarious stuff, and I don't think we know what happened and what due diligence was done or not done, and there's no way that he needs to do anything before this is resolved and these allegations are thoroughly investigated.
So, Brad, then why did Aston, the CEO of Town Bank, get him out of his job and put him on leave? Why didn't he say, look, let's just wait till the thing plays out? He did that because it's tarnishing his brand. I mean, isn't the fact that Sessoms stays there tarnishing the brand of Virginia Beach?
I don't think so, because the mayor is one vote out of 11 on the city council. He's certainly a very driven, very success-oriented mayor. But I think Bob Aston is looking at a very different set of circumstances for the business of his stakeholders, the business of his shareholders. It's two very different situations.
Well, let me just tell you this: there's a social media movement underfoot in Virginia Beach for people to withdraw and close their accounts at Town Bank. I don't know where that's going, but I think I'm going to tell you, Brad, people are outraged over this. Our emails and phone calls and texts are running probably 100 to 1. People are outraged. They're tired of this nonsense, and it's just hard to fathom that you, as mayor, had 60 high-profile votes come up, and you forgot you had 60 clients. I mean, it's just hard for the average person to take. And you brought Gruber up. It's like back to how stupid are we? Are we that stupid? Maybe we are. Maybe we just continue to be stupid. I think people are starting to wake up, Brad.
That may be the case.
All right.
And again, the public officials have to do everything they can do to show that they're deserving of the public trust.
Yeah, you're making $1 million. You need to know who your damn clients are. 8:58. We want to thank Brad Martin for being with us here on the John Fredericks Show.